Hi there. Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to an evening of questions and solutions that you have sent across for me to answer. First of all, first things first, wishing you a very, very happy Diwali. Diwali is 2 days away. I'm sure it's exciting. Have you guys, done with your shopping? Is the house clean? Are the chores done? Are the gifts in place, and are you waiting for sweets to come in? Have you put on weight as yet? No, I'm sure you will, given the amount of sweets we'll end up eating. But that is the fun of Diwali going in, right? And all of us celebrate Diwali for different reasons. Different cultures have different reasons to celebrate the festival, but the meaning is just one: victory of good over evil. And with that, let's dive into our live session. Hi, my name is Harleen Bagga. I am a life coach, a multidisciplinary psychotherapist. I do these free counseling sessions every Thursday, 7 p.m., where I am answering your questions in your context to the best of my ability, given the restraints we have with context and time. The first question that I have for today is very interesting. So, a disclaimer here: the questions that I have picked up today were part of a collaboration that I was doing with Ankita, who is a celebrity stylist. Unfortunately, she fell ill and we didn't end up going live. That is postponed for now. But these questions were received amongst several others when we reached out to you, our audience, on Instagram stories, on both my and her handle, for you to reach out to us with questions. So today's session is dedicated to those questions, to those followers, for really reaching out and coming to me with what disturbs you in this current given situation. So the first question that I have is this: how can we prevent ourselves from taking decisions emotionally? That's a tough one, right? Think about it. All our decisions are based on emotions. That impulse to buy from a telemarketer, the extra things that we end up picking when we are doing window shopping, those multiple things that we end up putting in a cart when we have gone online to an e commerce site to just pick those one, two things. Those decisions, impulsive albeit, are made because of emotions. Not just that, talk about even relationships, right? The people that you prefer to come close to you, the people that you want to, to push away from you, the people that you want to become intimate with, the people that you want to create boundaries with. Emotions drive that as well. And what about just maintaining relationships, right? Laughing and crying, anger and shouting, those are also driven through emotions. So, everything and anything that we do, the soul of it is emotion. So, your question is a fantastic question and a very powerful one. So, in a nutshell, if the question is, hey, can we take a decision in life without emotions? The short answer is it's not possible, mate. That's very difficult. But we do have strategies in place that can help you take to life with intellect, that can help you take decisions in life with wisdom and knowledge and a little bit of restraint instead of just being emotion driven. So, what are those strategies? I'm going to offer you three options here, okay? And you should choose, my friend, whatever works for you, all right? Based on your context. First is something that works very well in this context, which is mindfulness, practicing the art and the discipline of mindfulness. Now, mindfulness, mind you, is something that has been misused, overused, even abused. It is something that has been trending in the social media for almost last 6 to 8 months. And it is something that I feel personally as a psychotherapist is something that is gravely misunderstood. So, when you do decide, if at all you do decide to adapt and practice mindfulness, make sure you're doing it with the right therapist, with someone who's authentic and someone who themselves understand how this is adopted and how this is implemented. So, mindfulness combined with meditation takes you on a path of living well. That, in a way, takes you down the Buddhist toolkit part. In fact, that was one of the first videos that I did when I went on social media, when I started my YouTube channel. And it is something that I will share with you. But the Buddhist toolkit talks about heedfulness, mindfulness, and self awareness. So, when you are adapting and working on this mindfulness, it will actually uh, help you develop those strategies in a way that is correct for you. Now, the other suggestion that I have is internalization process, right? And I will come back to what is internalization process in just a few seconds. The third option that I have is combination of CBT or NLP. What is CBT? Cognitive behavioral therapy. What is NLP? Neuro linguistic programming. These are techniques that I use. So I use, which is why I'm a multidisciplinary psychotherapist, right? Instead of using one cookie cutter approach that fits the bill for everybody, every human out there, I try to customize. Now, coming back to your question, what you have not told me is if there is a specific situation that you have in mind for which you want to decouple your emotions and take a decision for that situation in a very intellectual or a matter of fact manner. If that is the case, where there is a prescribed situation and you're looking for a prescriptive solution, then your solution is using CBT or NLP to uh, achieve the goal that you have in mind, which is take a prescribed decision for a prescribed and a specific situation. Now, coming back to the thought internalization process. What is the thought internalization process? This is something, again, that I have spoken about it again and again, but just because you asked, I am going to tell it, repeat it, but because it's pertinent. We, the way we think, okay, it begins with thoughts. Everything in our life, how we act, it begins with thoughts. Thoughts lead to emotions. Emotions lead to attitude, our behaviors. And the attitude leads to an action. And the action leads to a result. Now, I want you to really write this down and contemplate and think about it, because the more you think about it, the more the depth of what I am telling you will enter your mind, especially because you and me are not doing a one on one session. We are not in a workshop situation where I am actually explaining this to you or drilling this home or making you do some exercises where I am making sure that you're adapting to this philosophy. Since we are in a restrictive situation where I am counseling you online, my only suggestion to you would be to again mull on it, think about it. The idea, my friend, is to align your mind, body, and soul. And to do that, there is not one cookie cutter solution that fits the bill, right? We are all different, just like our DNA. So, what works for you may not work for me. What works for my other clients may really not work in your situation. I'm giving you broad suggestions. Figure out what works for you. If you need help, you can reach me for a one on one. If you need a broad generic help, then definitely my workshops are a good mechanism to start adapting and learning about these different principles and then figure out the one that works for you. So, coming back, think about thoughts. When we think about somebody that we like, What is the emotion that we feel? A happiness, contentment. And when we are happy, when we are feeling good, when we're thinking about someone, what do you think our attitude is? That of tolerance, that of acceptance, that of maybe even excitement, depending upon the person that you're thinking about. And when that is your behavior and attitude, what will be the result? What will be your actions? So even if someone does try to prod you, instigate you, try and make you get upset, because you are in a positive frame of mind, your frame of reference is positive at that moment, your reaction to a negative situation will be restrained, will be under control. And once you are in control, you are coming from a situation that is not built or stemmed out of negativity. So the outcome and the result that you have, if one is one of being positive. Do you understand that? That was just for me to give you an example of how that process works. You can go ahead and do this at home, thinking of someone or the situation where you are negatively inviting a negative thought, right? When you're deliberately inviting a negative thought, when you're thinking of someone that you don't like, or especially this particular situation that you have written to me about. So think about that and see how this internalization process and where the internalization process leads you to. And hopefully, it leads you down a path that is able to give you clarity on what you need to do as your next steps. Now, why are we doing all this, right? Is there a solution? Why we are doing all this? So that we are able to implement a process of thinking beyond our emotions. What is the process? What are the solutions? Now, I did not want to just give you the solutions because those become like band-aids, right? My job is to teach you how to fish, not just provide the fish to you for you to eat. And that is my USP. That is where I uh, claim myself to be different than others, because I am pushing you to learn, understand the methodologies, the thought process, the science, the emotion behind it, depending upon the kind of person you are and how you work, so that when such a situation arises, not just today, but any time in life, you are able to deal with it. And that's very important. So, coming back to the solution, the process that I was talking about. So, how do I make sure that I am not taking a decision emotionally? First things first, the first thing that I want you to do is understand that your decision for that situation does not have to be binary. Okay, it does not have to be black or white. Like, okay, should I talk to that person or should I leave that person? Again, depends on the situation. Should I be launching this product or should I be not launching this product if it is a business decision, right? Should I be attending that party or should I not be attending the party? So, in that case, it's a binary decision, of course, but depending upon the situation, just keep something in mind that all decisions need not be binary. Second thing is, most important is understand yourself, understand uh, who you are authentically, right? Because who you are, these processes that I mentioned, mindfulness, thought internalization process, CBT, NLP, all of these are just mechanisms to help you build self awareness, to help you figure out who you are authentically. And once you know who you are, that becomes your moral compass to decide in any given situation what you need to do. And why is that important? That is very important, right? Because once you know yourself, you know you will take a decision that is driven by who you are, not necessarily how you're feeling superficially. Make sense? The third thing that I want you to think about is uh, imagine the worst and the best case scenario in that situation, right? Once you imagine the entire range, the entire gamut, then it becomes easier to take a decision. You can act on these objectively only once you have been able to understand yourself and rise to a level that is above your emotions, right? Which is why I started the answer where I did. The fourth thing that you can do is uh, seeking professional help, right? In, let's say, what I mean by that is you are confused, you have a certain situation in mind, and if you're unable to figure it out, instead of banking on the people around you for answers, let me give you an example, right? Should I be should I be launching the my clothes line, right? Let's say I'm an influencer and I want to launch a clothes line, and I'm really excited about it, I'm passionate about it, I think I'm creative. And if my decision and my conundrum is, hey, should I be launching my clothes line, and I go and ask my friends or my relatives, the probability that they will come back with an affirmative answer that says, hey, yeah, sure, go ahead, is very high. So it is better for you sometimes in life to seek the answer or advice of a professional, because a professional comes from a third person's view and they can give you a neutral opinion, again depending upon the context and the situation of what you need to do. Make sense? The other thing that you can do is, um, see, this thing that that is there of late is, just think positive and everything will get sorted. Just believe in yourself and think positive and everything will get sorted. I also tell and preach people to believe in yourself. I am also telling people to believe in positivity, because that's how the law of attraction works. But thumping and riding on, yeah, let's be positive, let's just think everything is going to get sorted out, does not work in reality. In reality, if you have an issue that needs mending, that needs acceptance, that needs recognizing, first, my friend, you have to recognize that thought, which is the origin of your issue. Once you have recognized that thought, you will have built enough self awareness in your core to help then guide you to your next steps. You have to empty your cup. Only once our cup is empty can we adapt and learn what there is out there to learn in a way that is able to benefit us the most. Make sense? All right. So I know the answer to this was long, but it was a fantastic question and it had a lot of information for me to give. So hopefully I've touched upon everything. Think about it. If you, again, obviously, like I always say, you have something that you want to come back, you want to ask, please do that. I am but a call or a message away. The second question that I received in that stories when we marketed and um, promoted that collaboration was, there are so many webinars out there that promise us riches. What is the secret to choosing the right one and making the most out of them? That's a very interesting question. So I think that that's the whole idea, right? And I'm really enjoying these questions because the flavor and the essence of these questions is very real. And that is what happens when you reach to untapped markets, when you reach to different people from different walks of life, right? You get questions with different flavors, and it's very exciting and challenging for me too. I am actually enjoying this, answering this and this session so much. So thank you so much for asking me those questions. So coming back, okay, uh, I'm going to ask you a question myself. If those claims of becoming rich, becoming millionaires, becoming billionaires were true, if those claims were true, would you think the world would be the way it is? Think about it. Would you think that people would be in as much trouble, or people would be short of money, or people would work so hard, and would we have a kind of economy that we do? No, right? The people who are rich, people who are millionaires and billionaires have got there through a lot of hard work, discipline, and grit. Yes, of course, because the people, um, the hard, because their ancestors were able to work and amass all that wealth, some of the youngsters today are just born into a rich family where all of this just becomes a heritage. But that's all right. The bottom line is people got there through hard work, discipline, and grit. You cannot discount that. All right. Keep in mind, in India today, there are about 2.63 millionaires. Okay, 2.63 lakh millionaires. And the amount of billionaires in India is about 117. This is a survey that was done in 2020. Okay. Yes, the number can seem large, but compared to the kind of population we have, a few lakh millionaires is really a very small segment. So there is no get rich quick scheme that works. And if that is how you're thinking, my friend, then as a psychotherapist, the fact that you have asked me that question, I would suggest that there is something else that you're not telling me. There is some fear inside of you that is making you not believe in yourself, that is telling you that you are not confident in fighting and making your own dreams come true. There is something in you that is restricting your ability and your thought process, and that is why you are leaning towards finding a get rich quick scheme. So you are giving a scamster the permission to scam you because, in a way, you don't have faith in yourself. I want you to think about that. That is very, very important. Hey, hi, Gauri. Thank you so much for your comment. Thanks. Um, and this question was very interesting when you sent that to me, right? The choice, dear audience, the choice, people, is yours. Do you choose fear or do you choose faith? If we choose fear, right, and we don't accept that there is fear, we will spend an entire lifetime with nervousness, with anxiety, with angst, trying to run away from taking decisions, trying to run away from responsibility and accountability. And we will keep blaming people, and we will keep looking at these scamsters to make us rich because you don't hold yourself accountable. You rather spend your money and hold someone else accountable for making you rich. That is, to me, as a psychotherapist and a psychologist, is a case of you lacking faith in yourself at some level. How do you believe in yourself? How do we adapt and grow faith in ourselves? You do that by first asking yourself and doing a deep dive into your own self awareness. What are my competencies? What am I good at? What am I knowledgeable about? Can am I Do I have the capability to work hard? Can I build allies? Can I reach out to people for help? You have to come up with a plan, and you have success coaches in place who can do that, myself being one also. If you are struggling to work these nuances out in your own life, I would suggest that you go out and find someone, because finding the path to reaching success, finding a path to sustaining success, finding the path to believing in yourself and having faith is the best thing that you can do and the best gift that you can give yourself. The third question, and my last question for today, is why is anxiety being used in a negative light? When do you go and seek a doctor for help? Again, that's a fantastic question because, again, anxiety today is being used very loosely. It is being used in a very negative connotation. Oh my God, you're anxious. Oh my God, you're stressed. That's so bad. It means you're not strong enough. It means you cannot handle yourself. It means you're not mentally strong. Rubbish. Bullshit. Anyone who is telling you that and who is building and harping on anxiety being a negative trait doesn't know what they're talking about. Okay, they are just devaluing you, they are belittling you, and they are taking advantage of making you feel like hell for whatever reason. Anxiety is a normal reaction. Anxiety is a normal behavior to stress. This is something that I want you to first understand and accept, right? Anxiety is not abnormal. Anxiety is something that has been there from the time we are born till the time we die. And anxiety is something, it's a natural response to a situation. What is anxiety? It is nervousness. It is the feeling of caring for the results of something that you want to do. When the results matter to you, you're nervous, right? And when you're nervous, it is actually a good sign that you're anxious. What do I mean? When you go to an exam, when you're sitting for a board exam, when you have a stage performance, or when you perhaps want to do a call, a public call, your first Zoom meeting, your first day of school, a very important corporate meeting or a board meeting that you're addressing. When you're doing things like that, doesn't matter if it is frequently, okay? This does not mean, what I'm saying is, actually what I'm not saying is that anxiety is just a one ride pony. It's not. You could be someone who is an actor, you could be someone who is an artist, a stage artist, but before going on stage every time, for you to feel anxious and a tad bit nervous is normal. In fact, it is a fantastic thing because it means that the results, my friend, matter to you. Because if the results didn't matter to you, you would be uh, laid back, you would be cold, and nothing else would matter. So, coming to the second part of your question, when do we go to a doctor? When do we decide that anxiety is actually an issue? When does it become negative? This is your answer. If anxiety, so anxiety by nature has to be temporary. Okay, so it comes, the nervousness comes, and then it goes away after that act has been performed. But in the instance that that nervousness, that reluctance, that fear, that zing, that tingling in the body stays with you, sticks to you, and refuses to let go, then we know we have a problem. That is your first sign that I want you to look out for. Second, if this nervousness and fear begins to consume you, wherein it is inhibiting you to carry your normal activities, it is inhibiting you to uh, laugh and smile and enjoy life like a normal person, it is inhibiting you from being accountable and responsible, then, my friend, you definitely need to go see a doctor. Those are signs of an anxiety disorder creeping in, and there has to be and will be a trigger, and any therapist that you see will be able to identify that trigger and cure you. It is one of the, again, each person is different, right? But this is something that can be dealt and that can be cured. So, if the anxiety becomes the focus of your life instead of your dreams, your vision, your family, happiness, and living, and it's like you have blinders on and that's all you're thinking about, please go ahead and see a doctor as soon as possible. With that, we have finished our half an hour, which is what I wanted to do, so that the sessions are short and sweet. If you have any questions for me, I shall wait. If not, you know the drill. We've been doing this for quite some time right now. We are at 15 episodes, of course, already. So thank you so much for your support, for your love, and for those questions and your faith in me. That is the biggest thing, right? So continue to send me those questions, and I shall continue to do my best, try and collaborate with more people, try and reach out to more and more people so that we are able to penetrate more pockets and make sure that we are actually benefiting the maximum people that we can. If not, then I think sayonara for now. Happy Diwali once again. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Whatever you do, safety is paramount. Safety is a must. Yes, we are bored. Yes, we are frustrated. Yes, we want to have fun. Yes, we want to dress up and we want to look beautiful and sexy. Do all of that. But do that in an environment that is safe for you. That's my parting advice. Take care. See you. Bye bye. Love you guys.